speaking to. I'd be impressed if I started speaking another language. So welcome to week 9. I'm Jo Smith. I'm the volunteer to career clinical lead over at Bradford District Care Trust. Welcome to Ray Clare also, who's from Yorkshire Ambulance Service. Massive welcome. I'm really pleased to have you here. Our first national volunteer joining in with us at Bradford. So it's amazing that this programme is now officially rolling out across the country. So I'm just going to share my screen and then I'm going to get on to... Let me know if it's sharing, please. If you just give me a thumbs up or if it's not sharing. I think it's working.
Yeah, it's sharing.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you. I'm just going to make it bigger as well. So today's session is going to be all about balancing volunteering with life, life in general, and all the other commitments that we have going on. So it's like a bit about the balancing of the volunteering role and sort of time, kind of managing time effectively. And there's a little bit there about health and well-being also in today's session. So try get a lot of value hopefully out of this next 30 minutes and just sit back, relax, listen in, type comments in the chat. For those of you that are watching back on replay, massive welcome. It's amazing to have you as part of this programme. And if there are ever any questions, you can get in touch on email, get in touch anyway. I know not everyone's able to access the live sessions. We were just having a little pre-chat and I was saying that in the future, we're looking at ways of getting additional funding so that we can make this programme even bigger and better. So it'll be the live sessions maybe more than once a week. And there's lots of ideas to make it into an online course that you can do self-study in your own time. So we just need a little bit of extra funding, which I'm working on. So in the meantime, we will be here every other Tuesday. Welcome, Rachel. I'm just giving the pre-spiel. This is our volunteer service manager, Rachel. So it's brilliant to have you here today. I'm just doing the recording part.
I can't make it. I'm only popping in for a few minutes. But
no, it's nice to have you here. I'll let you do a little welcome then if you'd like to say a few words.
Yeah. Hello everyone in the room and watching the recording. I'm Rachel. I'm volunteer service manager. So I have the pleasure of working alongside Jo. And yeah, good to have you all here. And it's such a great programme. So really.
Thank you, Rachel. I was just saying before you came on that I'm putting together as much evidence and as much of a business case as I can to get us some sustainable funding so that we can make this bigger and better.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because clearly having it on other days is helpful, having it on an online course. So I've got loads of ideas. We just need some more funding. But as it stands, we're committed to every other Tuesday, 9:30 till 10:30, with a recorded session that can be sent out, and that is our minimum offer that we will always be able to offer. So
absolutely, yeah.
So yeah, don't worry, Rachel, if you need to dip out. It's nice that you dipped in and to say hi, and thank you for the support with this, Rachel, because we have other team members that are going to be coming on board, which is going to make this even bigger and better. Yeah, because we're going to have a lot more. Well, we'll have a lot more brains between us to bring to the party rather than just me doing this on my own. So it'll be brilliant moving forwards. So I'm going to start off with a bit of a Kickstarter, and then I'm going to give you some tools and strategies, hopefully, that are going to help you have some food for thought about how you might be able to manage the volunteering with your other commitments and getting really a lot of quality out of life and enjoyable experience. And then I'm going to look at some types of commitments and some self-care and well-being towards the end of the session. And I'm just going to start off with putting a question out there. So you can come off chat if you like or share in the chat in the comments. But I'm just going to throw this out there just to get us in a nice feeling. So if you could have any superpower for a day, Rachel's thinking, oh no, superpower.
Don't think it.
I've already got 1 million superpowers. but even if you've got loads of superpowers already, which I know you have, then what would be that? What else would you like to have? What would it be, and why? What would my superpower be? I am going to share this with you because I feel like I achieved this on Tuesday. I'm not going to lie. It was the first time I actually thought it was a superpower that I really wished for. And this is why these kind of Kickstarter things are quite powerful, because sometimes if you put it out there, you actually do get it. So I'd always, all my life, I'd always have that feeling of, even though I might come across as confident, I'd always get like a build-up of anxiety feeling when I needed to do an interview, or when I needed to do a presentation, or when I needed to get in front of a big group of people. And on Tuesday, and I would like this superpower, not to be fazed by something that's not dangerous, but just to not have those feelings and just to actually feel bulletproof. That's what I would want, feel bulletproof. But on Tuesday, I got a glimmer of this, and I was surprised because I went into Leeds Beckett University to speak in front of the students on the mental health and counselling degree. And it was the first time in my life where I didn't get that feeling before getting up in front of that big group of people, and I was amazed. So, yeah, that's my share for today.
I don't know if this is a superpower or just a tool, a gadget, but I'd like an off switch for my mind sometimes. Just be able to go, yeah, enough now. Yeah, that'd be good.
No, I relate to that. I'd love to be able to just switch it off so you can fully go to sleep and relax. I used to wish for that too. Maybe another fun superpower is being able to fly.
The one that springs to mind is flying, or being able to
run up a wall. I want to be able to run up.
Maybe sometimes, what would I like to see? Some sort of motion. Maybe skates that turn into have flames at the back of them, so you can that turn into wings.
That sounds. I love that. It reminds me of the Super Mario World days where you get those little Mario Kart.
Mario Kart.
Oh, thank you for sharing.
Get up and down hills very quickly.
If you're on record, hit pause and just call it. What do you want your superpower to be? Anyway, I'll get into the session now, because I could go on all day about stuff like that. It's fun. So right, let's figure this one out, because what type of commitments do we all have? I mean, it helps by thinking about what our commitments are as a starting point, because sometimes we can get so overwhelmed with it. Feels like there's so much that we literally we can't even get any clarity. So sometimes doing this simple thing about actually just spending 30 minutes to really think about what commitments do I have, and what am I going to do about this? If you are getting to a point where you're feeling like you're going at 200 miles per hour all the time and there's no time to stop, and that's those times when I was going at 200 miles an hour because I had so many commitments, I would make little silly mistakes. Like I fell out of my front door once holding my lunch bag with my rucksack, and I fell on my front garden. It was quite funny, but it wasn't. So I mean, maybe if I would have actually taken 30 minutes to sit down and think, right, Jo, what needs to be done? But instead I just let overwhelm throw me down the front stairs. Just a random example that I thought of. So, you can kind of break it down at times into areas. So for example, your personal ones, that might be me for my children, my family. Professional, that's like if you've got a job that you're juggling, if you've got a college course, if you're at university. And then they've got the volunteering commitments also. So I just kind of split it down into 3 really. And same for me too, because I have some volunteering commitments that I have also. So I feel like I'm doing this juggle, and it can really help me. And often what I'll do is I'm getting quite good at getting rid of the ones that are not essential. And maybe getting good at delegating certain things. So I encourage you all to spend a little time, just jot down. I literally did this in 5 minutes. I just wrote down a list of what the things that are my main commitments, the things that I have to do that are non-negotiable, that have to happen every week, and I'll jot them down. And it could be things like dropping my daughter at school. It could be, even though she's nearly 15 and she's more than capable of getting there, it could be that I'm doing an online course because I love learning and I love studying somehow. only if I'm interested in it. But it could be that I've made a commitment, like at the minute I've committed to doing saxophone, learning to play saxophone, and I've paid an annual membership. I'm doing an online learning. I'm part of a new thing. So I've committed myself to that. And that's not really that'd come under a personal, and then we can break it down even further to the next steps. But just jot it down. Don't be worry about where it needs to go, what section it needs to be in. Just get it all out. Hopefully you won't feel more overwhelmed doing that, because the whole point of this is that you're going to get clarity on what's happening, and you're not going to do what I did and throw yourself down the front steps by accident. But I saw so many colleagues who did similar things. One girl rang me from the car park saying, please come and help. She'd fallen down some steps too. So seems to be a bit of a crazy theme there. So yeah, some of them might overlap. So yeah, I just want to help you to balance out these multiple commitments and really highlight later in this session the benefits of getting that balance and the reduction in stress levels, because none of us want to be running around in fight or flight for 24 hours a day if we can't get that off switch. We're only designed to be able to tolerate, I know this is crazy, but 30 minutes per day of fight or flight is absolutely human and normal. But realistically, we shouldn't be feeling that for more than 30 minutes a day. And ideally, you don't even want to be feeling it for 30 minutes a day. That's just in case you need to flip a car, if you need to do superhuman, if you need to rescue someone from a situation, we are okay to run on that fight or flight, but not for a prolonged period. So simple things like this, like really breaking down the commitments, getting clear on it, boom, wow, you're going to live till beyond 100 years old and feel good if we can really do simple things now rather than getting used to the feeling, because you can not even realize that it's there. It's like wearing some shoes that are too small for you, and they're there all the time, and then the day you take them off, you're like, wow, oh, I never knew that it could feel so good. That's just a way of maybe explaining what I'm saying. So I've put self-care here. So these are just some examples, like time management, prioritization techniques. So this thing here, if you Google, there's all kinds of things on the urgent versus the important matrix. So we've got things like, you can do that list that I said to do of all your commitments. And then the next step is that you can then put them into little areas of which ones are urgent, which ones have to be done now, which ones are the first things that need to be done. For me, mine was shopping this morning, because I realised that we were getting low on food, and I was like, I need to rush to Aldi and get some shopping. But that was one of my urgent. And then you've got so you can split it down into your 3 parts: urgent and important. Important but not urgent. So you can plan those in. Say, for example, I like an important but a not urgent task for me would be something like getting invites out for meetings, but they don't need doing now. So it might be something that I need to do that could be done for a few weeks' time. So I can quickly then go down that list and go, right, that invite's sent out now for a month. It could even be a month away, but it's done then. It was important, but it wasn't urgent. And then you've got the urgent, but not important. That sounds a bit weird, that. But if it needs doing and you're not able to do it, and it's something that someone else can do, then boom. There's no I in team, so see who can help, because there's always a lot of people who can help. And then you got not urgent and not important. Okay, so really, can you eliminate it completely? Is it something that you could get rid of from your life and feel so great about it? Not urgent and not important. I've got quite a lot of these, because I like to help a lot of people in my life, and I like to and then I think volunteers will probably relate to this quite massively, because there's often when we do look at our commitments, there'll be something on there that I'm probably guarantee that you'll identify that is not urgent and not important. And it's something that you're doing that actually could be creating some overwhelm there. So can you minimize it? Can you completely drop it from your life? Is there anything that you're doing that you shouldn't really be doing technically that's going to help you? Because another really fun way, and it's in one of the other sessions, and I do this as an actual like a task that we do together, like a bit of an activity, is what I call you can do a list for what things energize me and what things drain me, and it's how you can help to generate more energy. So it's a bit of a similar sort of concept, but these are just little fun things that you can do with a scrap of paper and a pen, or you can even type it on you if you like to type. It doesn't matter how you do it. But then the point being that I just want to throw in there about setting the realistic and achievable goals, really, and things that can help you to do actually set the realistic and achievable goals. So I guess it's tapping into all the amazing technology that we've got available these days that can really help us do these things. I've tried out all kinds of different things for my work, and we use Microsoft Teams, and that can be really good at helping us to schedule in stuff and set reminders. I use Google Calendar on my phone, and I've got it like attached to my different email addresses, so I literally don't forget anything. And you can use them across multiple devices, because it used to be that, oh, what if the phone breaks? What if I can't access it from that particular device? It was a bit like, what if I lose my actual paper diary kind of feeling. But now, with the power of everything being connected, literally every piece of technology that I own could break, and I could then get a new one and log in and still get back everything that I needed. So it's powerful, this technology. So don't be scared of it. If you've not got into that sort of mindset of doing things in that way, it can be so helpful. And this is really random, because I was just chatting with someone who was serving me in a shop the other day, and I don't know how we got talking about this, and she then said to me, she's finally got rid of the paper diary. Oh, it was because I was saying something about my mobile phone, and I made a joke saying, oh, it's a good job. Oh, it was when we was paying for some, we were in a cafe, and I made a joke about my mobile phone, and I said, oh, I've brought my card today just in case I forget my PIN number. And then she made a joke and said, I finally got rid of my paper diary. So it was a bit random, but it's relevant to this conversation. And there's things like that you can get for free as well to really help you manage, if you're that way inclined, if you like structure and that gives you safety in your life, if that reduces your fear response or your stress response, then I know a lot of people who do like these kind of things. And Trello is an example, and Asana, they're like project boards. They're really good. We use project boards, don't we, Rachel? And they can be really helpful if I know lots of families who have family one. They have their own family calendars. I've not gone that far with my family. I'm like, I don't want them knowing what I'm doing, just in case I'm having a little sneaky break. But yeah, so you can tap into some of these tools. And self-care. I hinted on this because I think it's so important, really, to not judge ourselves for taking 30 minutes away to improve our own future, and recognise if we are getting to a point where we're running around like headless chickens. I know that's a common expression, or either that or it's just one of mine that I use. But if you feel like you're racing around and you're not in a good feeling, we don't want that for any of our, well, anybody in the world. I don't want that for, but especially not volunteers who we value and appreciate so much, who are doing such an amazing job. Like, we're here to support volunteers to get a lot from their volunteering, and it's an enhancement to a service. It's never ever to put volunteers under any additional expectations. Everyone can benefit, and it can be done in a really good feeling and in a really nice, relaxed and calm way. So that was the inspiration for doing a session really talking about this kind of thing today, because we do have volunteers who do share with us, and they do say, I'm just feeling like I need to take a break from my volunteering, or a little pause, I've got a lot happening. And we'd always encourage, have a conversation at any point. Please don't feel that there's any judgments, there's nothing like that. Because I know in the past we have had volunteers that have said, oh, I wish I'd said something sooner, but I've been doing my best to keep going, and there's things that we can do to help. So it really doesn't need to be a juggle. We can help you, and if you want to have some one-to-one time with you, with any of us, just to quickly go through it and help you identify things that can be helpful, we will do, always. Because sometimes we don't even recognize the signs of being going too quickly, or a brain that's going on full speed, thoughts that are coming, like my snow globe. I love to share my snow globe. I think I do this in every session now, but I don't know if you can see it, but that's how it can feel. That's how it can feel. And there's just like, that's how I describe my thinking at times. And if I just stop, just slow right down, it literally takes, I know this is a small snow globe, but it takes a minute. It doesn't even take a minute. And it's like, that's where the power is. That's where the magic is, in the quiet, calm. Slow is fast, I always say. In fact, that was my first expression from about 8 years ago. I used to say, slow is fast. I figured that one out when I did my first ultra marathon. When I was trying to go quicker than I should have been, I realized, Joe, you can go hundreds of miles if you just slow down. And that's what I did. That's what I actually did. So it's not, what have I put here? Stress is the necessity of taking breaks and engaging in relaxing activities. So yeah, I'll just quickly share some. I mean, it's so unique to each and every human being on this planet on what they need to do to get that snow to settle. But what I can guarantee is, when we work against it rather than with it, then we're actually putting our foot down on an accelerator that's already going on flat and trying to go quicker. It's counterproductive, and we don't always realize that we're doing it. So this is why I encourage you just to maybe spend a little time just thinking about, what are those things in my life where I just feel like that switch has just gone off. Mine's hula hooping. So I can't recommend everyone go out there and start hula hooping, because some of you will end up like with a snow globe going like this if you're trying to hula hoop, and it's not for you. So I always share that, don't feel that don't be hoodwinked, or don't get the misperception that it's the activity that you're doing that's settling the mind. So it's not the hula hooping that's settling the mind, it's just the fact that my thoughts fall away when I'm hula hooping. So it's what's happening inside of me. So whatever it is for you, I just encourage you to do more of them, because the more time you spend in doing things that are enjoyable, that settle down and slow down that busy mind, then you spend less time in that fight or flight response, or that overwhelming kind of busy feeling. So I'm just gonna open up for any questions, if there's any comments to share or any questions. If anything didn't make sense, I'm just thinking actually in hindsight that I'll share this with everyone via email, so that they can maybe sit down and just answer the questions. Or I can actually share the slideshow so you can just go through it. That might be easier actually and quicker. So I'll do that so that you can actually go through it and do that little activity. And hopefully you'll get some benefit from doing that. Just put the things into categories. If you identify something that you're doing that you don't need to do anymore, just either be brave about it and say no if you need to do. for something that's you're not enjoying. And I'll just quickly share this while it's on my mind. But they say that the reason why we're not good at saying no, there was some research on this. Why do people struggle to say no to things? And they said it's because when we're children, we hear it so many, many times. We get told no all the time and we don't like it. The theory, this is the theory, I don't know if this is like a truth or anything, but it made me go, oh yeah, that would make sense. Is because we don't like being told no. So this is why we're not good at doing it. But most of the time when I've started to do it, when I've got brave and started to say no to things that weren't appropriate, it was not even a big deal. I'm like, oh yeah, don't worry, no bother. And it's like, oh, all that time. So yeah, it's worth being brave with that one. I just wanted to share that. And if anyone did need any future support, I can only speak for Bradford District Care Trust here, but our volunteers have access to all the same support that members of staff have also. They have access to coaching, the coaching network, the staff therapy services, occupational health teams. So just check out with your trusts what resources are available for volunteers too, because I know many trusts offer the same level of support. I know in Bradford we have access to some of the apps free of charge, like the Headspace apps, which some people like listening to and doing. They have like little meditation, or they have breathing, or they have like stories. There's sleepcasts, there's podcasts on that app. So yeah, just find out what you're eligible for, and if you feel like you need help, just tap into all the things that are on offer, because there's all kinds of things. So I really encourage you to don't do it alone. If you need someone to speak to and break it down into manageable chunks, then yeah, go for it. And just massive thank you for everyone for all the volunteering that you're doing. And we're just privileged that you guys are going to be part of our future workforce more than anything. Because even me, after 26 years in the NHS, I'm just really excited for new people coming in and just seeing the amount of talent and the amount of experiences and skills that you've got to bring. And the fact that you're starting out from volunteering is just absolutely amazing. I love it. When I first started, I started as a ward housekeeper. I was paid for my first role at 16 years old. But if I'd have known about volunteering too, I'm not sure there were any opportunities for that back then. So we have moved so far ahead compared to then. It's unreal. So yeah, thank you so much. I'll just stop sharing my screen and I'm going to come back on to big screen so that hopefully that's not sharing anymore. And I'll invite you to come back on off mute and we'll have a chat if that's okay.
Yeah.
We've got a break there. I whistle stopped through that. I feel like sometimes I do have to rush these ones in 30 minutes. That's why I think in the future, if we've got lots coming, the meetings can be made slightly longer, and we'll have more backwards and forwards conversations. So
yeah.
Did it ring any bells for you, or?
Yeah, no, I did. I think it was really helpful. I think it sort of made me think with the managing tasks and things, and like what's actually important right now and what do I just want to do. I'm always so busy, and I was thinking about like what do I need to do on a day? Like, do I need to go and sit at home and go on my phone for an hour when I could do something I actually enjoy, rather than just like sitting and like I use that as a wind down, but I don't get anything from it.
Yeah.
Do something that would like plan my week or something that's going to like take away a bit of stress, rather than just like thinking I'm de-stressing by just going on my phone, but I'm not. And then I'm like, oh, I've got 101 things to do still.
Yeah, I totally relate to that too. And and sometimes that it's like you want to do stuff, but you can like procrastinate on it. Yeah. And actually that's where it comes from. It's that overwhelm. It's not that you can't do those things or that you don't want to do it. It's just that it's just too much. And then I'm like, you kind of just end up doing something that was really pointless.
Just
Yeah.
time.
And I'm like, I've just spent ages doing that thing that didn't really need doing. Yeah, so do you feel like there's things that you could put together and maybe get rid of some stuff? And it's about, I guess it's about intention, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
what's the intention? Like, what do I want to achieve today or tomorrow? Or and that's why I think sometimes I really do like think it can be really helpful to just put it in the diary. It's in there. It's going to happen. Even if it's something simple like catching up with some colleagues or some old friends, or it's like it can go on and on and on for months and years sometimes, can't it, where it doesn't happen.
Yeah. Just keep pushing it back. There's one thing when you said about the paper diary, because I still have a paper diary. And I think
Have
it
you
in my
got
because if I haven't got it, I'm like, I don't know when I'm free because I've not got my diary on me.
Have you still got yours then?
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
rock up with it in my hand. Yeah, but I should probably not. I should probably just get it on my phone and then it's in one place. But I like seeing things out in front of me, and then
You
I'm
could
like,
do
right, that's
both.
what my week looks like. So
Yeah, you're visual, you need to see it. You probably would like one of those boards.
yeah,
Like because it's really, you can see the whole week in a full snapshot. I used to, so when I went health visiting originally, we had paper diaries, and we didn't have like online systems when I first started. But as they brought it in, we were all like given the order, you're not allowed paper diaries anymore, and everyone took a lot of years, and for quite a long time, because before you could trust technology and before you knew you could access it on other devices and everything, I had both, so I would duplicate him for quite a long time. And then just slowly but surely, as each year went by, my mum always used to buy me every year a diary. She used to put it in my Christmas presents, as a next year's diary. And I used to really enjoy getting the new diary. And then just bit by bit, she'd still get me it, but I'd stop using it.
yeah.
And before I knew it, I just didn't have one anymore. And it wasn't like I'm going to do the big thing and make a big decision and get rid of it. It just were no longer needed anymore, just by trying out new ways.
Yeah.
And you might, like you say, if you like to see it, maybe have a look, have a go with it. Have you got Google Calendar on your phone?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Do you use that?
A little bit, yeah. I use Teams a lot for work as well, so I need to sort of just get
Yeah.
everything in one place. So I know what I'm doing when I'm doing it, but yeah.
It'll happen though. There's no, you don't need to do it now, but it's just if it's something you feel like, oh, that might be quite a freeing. Where do you work then? Can you tell me a bit about what you do and where you volunteer?
Yeah, so I volunteer in York. I do the patient transport. But I have 6 jobs, so I'm quite busy, which is why I'm all over the place all the time. But they all like come to like make like a full-time job. So I work Sunday to Thursday, and then on a Friday, because I've got Friday off, but all my friends tend to work Fridays still. I then volunteer on a Friday. And then
Really? So
work on Sunday.
you work 5 days a week. You do 6 jobs.
Yeah.
You're juggling 6 jobs, work 5 days a week. You got Friday off, but
I
because
volunteer.
is that your volunteer day then?
Yeah,
Friday.
so I do it on a Friday. I haven't for a couple of weeks just because I've had like little bits and bobs on, and I'm because I need my car and my car needs fixing and stuff. So I've had a few weeks off, but
Yeah.
yeah, busy. They all all my jobs are kind of in one place. They all link up.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like managing time.
So do you get one day off a week then? One
Kind
day.
of, yeah.
What do you do on that day?
Oh, I don't know. Sit down and I have to do this again next week. Just that I try and see my friends on that day because that's like the only day normally that we will all have off together.
Yeah. Oh, it's good that you've got a day together then where you can actually do some social stuff.
Yes, very good.
I imagine you love your job.
I do really enjoy it. Yeah, I teach. Well, like I said, I've got a few, but I teach swimming as one of them, and then I like tutor first aid courses and CPR and stuff. And then I lifeguard, and I manage a swim school and manage a training centre. So it's like a bit all over the place, but
It all sounds so much fun. I think you remind me of me a little bit because I've never had one job either.
Yeah, I can't say no.
Well, supposedly I have ADHD, but that's just a lot of symptoms, isn't it? Let's face it. So I don't really make much of that. I just think it's just I like to do different jobs.
Yeah.
And so like I do coaching, but I also do the clinical lead job. Whenever I've done health, I did help my parents with the computer and embroidery and print business. That's what I used to do. I used to do Frozen kids characters, parties, fun fairs. I did TV extra work. I was a magician's assistant. I've always done loads of different, a bit like you with all the different, like the swimming and the doing the training for the life supports and everything. It's just life's fun when you don't do the same. For me, anyway. I know a lot of people like to know what's eat, sleep, repeat, eat, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And like I got involved at the Leeds Uni as well, and it's just, it opens up the world. Like you just get more opportunities.
That's it. Yeah, I've never really even applied for a job, to be fair. I was just sort of one of the things that, like, every job that's come up, it's like, oh, would you like to do this? I'm like, oh yeah, go on then, I'll give it a go. Why not? And then they all just stuck around. So now
I love that. That's that.
One
You know, take a lot from that. The fact that like people just want you to be on their team by the sounds of it. They're like, you're invited, like, please come and work with us, please come and do this with us. That's so good. So do you do patient transport? Is that helping patients? Do you drive them?
Yeah, just in my car.
Yeah.
So I'll like pick them up for an appointment and then take them back home after an appointment, or yeah. But I saw it on the NHS website and I thought, oh well, I've got a free day, and I've always done some volunteering. So I used to teach voluntary, and I kind of stopped that because it was my job, and I was like, well, I'm half a week I'm working for free and half a week I'm getting paid for it. So I was like, I'll try something different.
Yeah.
And then solar patient transports. I've been doing that for a year, but that's like my favorite of all of the jobs that I have at the moment. So that's sort of where I wanted to go. Like into, if I can, hopefully into like an actual career with them, and then just have one job, which would be lovely.
that'll be the dream, won't it? Like, you won't be juggling. You're just such a great person to attend this session with all what you're juggling. Do you have any other commitments other than those, the 6 jobs and everything else?
That's about it. And then, like, apart from like family commitments and stuff, like my cousin's got 2 little girls and I have them every other Saturday because she works. And
really,
and then I used to swim, but I don't do it as much anymore. I used to compete, so that used to be every weekend, but not anymore. I've managed to push that one away a little bit as well. So
was that because, did you want to kind of ease away from that one?
Yeah, I got a bit too old.
Oh, you don't look old. You don't look too old.
But it was just one of those things. If you go to uni, it's hard to carry on because the competitions sort of dry up unless you're in a uni team, and I didn't go. So
I see what you mean. Yeah.
With COVID and everything, it was just after having a year off training, getting back into it's a bit like I had all this free time I didn't want to spend every evening at a pool. So
it's a big commitment, isn't it? My friend's son, he'll be 18 this year, but he swims at that. I don't understand it a lot, but like maybe the Olympics, that kind of level. And they have, even from when the kids were in primary school, they were like up early every day and all the training and everything.
Like 8 times a week. Yeah, it's mad. But not anymore.
Oh wow. I can relate to it slightly, but not as a swimmer, as a trail runner with the ultra marathons and things that I've done over the years. Mm-hmm. So I've got a little taste of what it feels like to be like that. And I get what you mean. You get to a point where you're like, I just don't want to have to get up at 6 in the morning on a Sunday and out and do 20 miles or whatever. Or
No.
But it's amazing that you can still help other people and teach them to go on and do what you did.
Yeah, no, it is a really good job. Like, I do love it. I've done it for 12 years now, so it's sort of and I always wanted to go into sort of like the NHS, and that was always the plan. But then with my work and stuff, that it was like, oh, can you do this? And I'd be like, yeah, sure. And I was like, oh, I can't leave them now because I've committed, and we do this course. And I'll be like, yeah, right, I'll give them a year of doing that course, so like they've benefited from having me there. And then it's just pushed back and back and back. So I'm gonna stop and like do what I want to do, hopefully. Fingers crossed.
You're a bit like me then. Do you struggle to say no to things? And
yeah
definitely. Yeah, it's like No, I've been like that, and it's like, oh, I actually need to think about what I want here. So with the career choice that you're wanting, then what's the actual end? Have you got like an end career in mind that you really want?
I would like, now working sort of like doing the volunteering with the ambulance service, I would like to end up there, hopefully.
Would you like to be a paramedic?
Yeah, I sort of looked at it because I've looked at like the different pathways into it. When I did the course to do the patient transport, the guys were really helping me with that. And I've looked at like working in patient transport, and I thought, because I've had the same job for 12 years, I was like, I just don't know where I want to go. So I thought maybe work in patient transport for a bit if I can, doing that as a paid role, and then like look at the apprentice sort of pathway. That was sort of what I found myself. But I've like, from being younger, I was like, oh, I'm going to be a nurse. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I just never actually like bit the bullet. And now I was like, right, I'm doing it. So yeah, hopefully sort of within that line of work. Yeah.
Okay, so you're looking for opportunities in apprenticeships in potentially paramedics. You mentioned nursing, you mentioned some of the other. You just don't know which one yet.
Yeah, I think possibly like ambulance service. That's where I'm leaning towards. I really want to get a job in patient transport. That's sort of That's right now. That's the aim. That's, I think, would be like the best way in for me. Get a job, find my feet, and then go right. If I want to go higher, I'll go into the apprenticeship afterwards.
They do the degree apprenticeship, don't they?
Yeah, I've seen a lot about. It. Looks great.
How long have you been there? Are you kind of new to this volunteer role? Have you been there a while now? Are you at a point where?
Been for a year, the volunteering.
Oh, you've done plenty. Yeah, you've got a lot of experience there. Then a whole year.
Yeah, I sort of started. Well, when I started all the courses in like Feb 2024, and then sort of like in the summer really like started with volunteering. So actually doing it. But yeah, all my courses were over a year ago now, because I've just been a couple of weeks ago and went back for like a big meeting with a lot of people there. So yeah, like a quarterly one.
Yeah. So do you feel ready then to, if say for example you were to see a full-time post advertised in patient transport?
Yeah.
Would you be like, the application's in day one?
I emailed and I was like, is there anything coming up anytime soon? And I definitely feel like I'm ready for it. Like, yeah.
Oh, good. You've already put it out there. You've already expressed your interest.
Yeah, I emailed one of like the team leaders and was like, do you know if there's anything like in the pipeline? Like, is there anything that I can do? I know sometimes you've got a different like category driving license and things. So I'm like, I've done a lot of research on it just so that I'm like fully prepared, so I know what I'm going into.
Yeah.
And I was like, is there anything that I can do that would like help that? Obviously, I'm doing the volunteering, and then when this came out, I was like, perfect, like great opportunity to sort of like show that I'm interested and learn a bit more as well.
Yeah, definitely. No, I'm so glad you're here because you sound like you've got everything, the experience, you've got the passion.
Yeah.
Part of me is like you're not in a rush to get anywhere. Like you're not like, I want to get on that paramedic degree and have that done. You'd be happy to go on a journey and do patient transport for a few years and then see what opportunities come from that and then take it that way. You're not like for me, when I made the decision I was going to be a nurse, I dropped out of my A levels.
All right.
And I was like, there's an April intake. I've got what I need. So I was like, because I was resitting my A levels because I was like, I didn't really know what I wanted to do at the time. So I was like, well, I may as well go back and see whether I can do. I didn't do that well. Probably because I didn't really want to be doing that. And I was working in a hairdresser's at the time and I kept doing extra shifts because, they were paying me. So I was like, I don't know what I want to do and I don't want to go to uni just for the sake of it through. So I went back to college and then I found out that nursing, I'm going back to Project 2000, the year 2000. And I found out they had an April intake and it was funded and I was going to earn money. And I could stay at college and resit A levels that I didn't really enjoy, or I could do that. And I applied for that, and next thing I knew, I started university as a student nurse in the April. And so nothing's off the table. Like literally, I think all people do this, but we kind of imagine our future in a way sometimes, and we have a vision of how it might pan out, and we're like, oh, it might take this long to do this. And then just something really random you find out, and you're like, well, oh, I didn't realise that, and I didn't know they were taking people on. And we've got volunteers that have done similar, that thought they couldn't afford to go into university. They thought, I can't afford this because I've got children and I've been made redundant from a well-paid job, and now I'm on a low income. And they've been like, I just don't think that the funded route's going to work. But when they've looked into it, and there's government funding for some of the, especially careers like nursing, occupational therapy, podiatry, you know, all of these careers, some of them university fees are supported through funding, and it depended on individual circumstances. We've got volunteers that thought they needed an apprenticeship that went straight down that degree route if they had the entry level stuff that they needed, like the certain GCSEs or so it's, don't rule yourself out for any pathway.
No, yeah.
You probably know a lot of this already. You've probably, because you're not the kind of person that's going to sit back and not do the research, I can tell.
No, I want to know everything about it. What days will I be working? Like, I want to know everything.
I can tell you're just like me. You're like, I'd there might be like a university or I'd know more than the people leading the course about it, because I'd, you know.
All in, yeah.
Yeah, it's like you got to know all this stuff. So, are you registered on all like track and track jobs, and you've got all notifications coming in and
anything like that? Yeah, that's sort of, I set that up because I noticed a few months ago, or a month ago, they were hiring for like patient transport, but it was everywhere but York, which was so typical. Which is why.
Are you in York? Are you based in York?
Yeah. Which is why I originally got in touch, and I was like, I've seen that it's everywhere, but where I am, is it looking like it is at any point? But I like the idea of going into like finding my feet there first, and like is this the right place for me, sort of thing? And am I gonna I know I'm gonna enjoy it because I love the volunteering, so I'm assuming it's gonna be quite similar. Sort of like just having a job where I know what I'm doing, one job for a bit, and then being like, right, yeah, I love this, then let's go on the pathway. It just feels like a nice, I think I've been in the same place my whole like working life. I'm like, oh, scary. Jump now.
Oh, yeah. Can you like imagine yourself driving one of those big ambulance bus things and taking, and it's got loads of patients and you're taking them all home? And I used to work in what they call the discharge lounge. They probably have equivalents now, where the patients used to be sat in a room waiting all day.
Go into there a lot.
And then you'd be going in there, and I'd love it when they got picked up. It was so nice just seeing them going home. And
it's so fun. I've met so many like really cool people. Like, I love talking, so it's perfect for me. I like driving, I like talking, and they just sit in the car and I just yap at them all day, and they yap back.
Oh God, I bet they love you. I bet you're just you're just a pleasure. I bet you make the day being able to someone like you to come and pick me up. If I was sat waiting for a lift back, I'd be really happy. Yeah, you're made for it. You definitely it's just is it at the minute then it feels like a bit of a sit and wait game for that job to be advertised.
Yeah, kind of. So I'm just like in sort of getting myself as prepared as I can for it. And then hopefully when it comes up I can just like be straight on it, and fingers crossed it goes well. And I'm looking at like there's other things, like right now I'm not like I have to get it like a new job tomorrow. But it's like I'm getting to the point where like, right, I need to be figuring it out. So I've like set myself a bit of a timeline. I'm like, if this job doesn't come up in the next 6 months, maybe I'll look at something else in the meantime, like hopefully again within the NHS, because I know like a lot of roles, if you're already in and doing something, it's some like you can only apply if you're internal or whatever. But that's where I want to be. That's the aim. So hopefully it comes around. We'll see.
Yeah. So say like 6 months time in September.
Yeah.
Hopefully something will come up before then.
Yeah.
But would you consider looking at opportunities for university degrees for September? Or is that just too soon away? Are you thinking, oh, I don't want to go uni? Did you say you didn't go to uni, did you?
No,
You
I
didn't go
didn't.
down. That's when the swimming sort of didn't happen, because that's how I knew that you didn't do university.
Yeah, it just wasn't for me. Like at that point,
Yeah.
I was like, I like being hands-on and like involved.
Yeah.
I want to be in a job. I want to be earning money. I don't think full-time uni would be the thing that would work for me very well. I was never like,
Yeah.
"No, go to school."
It wouldn't me either. It wouldn't have done me, but I think because it was mainly working, it was placement mainly. You're mainly
Yeah.
working on, when you're working in as a student nurse or a paramedic, it's a lot of it's practical. You do have classroom stuff, but you're already teaching that stuff. You're
Well,
already teaching life support skills. But are you doing the life support?
No, so I do. Well, I do like first aid at work,
Yeah,
lifeguarding courses, CPR, like
yeah, but
anaphylaxis.
you're teaching that stuff. Wow.
It's true.
Don't discredit that.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the stuff that you do in the practical classes, if you were going into a clinical kind of role, because it sounds as though it's not off the menu for you to go into a clinical role, to
No,
be
no.
any kind of healthcare professional role. You've definitely got a big passion for the transport, which, wow, if a job pops up, would you see your entire future doing transport? Would you think I've cracked it, I've won the lottery here, I've no need to pursue any other career as long as I'll be here, like that kind of feeling? Like
I
that
don't
would
know.
be,
I see it as something that I think I'd really enjoy, and then I
yeah,
think I'd want to probably develop on it and try. I know there's like, from what I can remember, there's like you can like you do it sort of base level and you can work up, and I would like doing something like that. I like to sort of like get somewhere, find my feet, figure out what I'm doing, and then sort of expand on that. That's sort of what I see happening. I do sort of see myself hopefully progressing within that line of work, whether that stays sort of like ambulance service or it ends up in a hospital. Like, I don't know that bit. I just know that I'll enjoy it, and that's what matters, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, it definitely does so much. And like you say, you'll have the confidence just comes naturally then, doesn't it? And then you think, oh, I'm ready for this next thing now. But right now, the thought of going straight to that doesn't feel. It feels like too big a step.
Yeah, kind of like, yeah. I
Is
think
that what? Did I get that right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's right, definitely. Yeah, because I've just been so like used to what I'm doing.
Yeah.
That was the way I'd do it, but the other way around for me, I'm like, yeah, that's like, I know I can do that, and I can probably do the other one. But it's just, I think if you know you can do something, you're a bit more confident in it. It goes better.
Well, just hearing you speaking, what we've chatted about this morning, I'm already like you're already like what I've heard, what you've shared, the things that you're doing, all the different roles that you're involved in. If I were interviewing you to come on to a degree apprenticeship, because I'd be like, we've got to have this person. She doesn't realise her potential. Like I get what you mean about it feels like overwhelmed, like big, like, oh my God, I don't know what it's going to be like, and am I capable of that, and all this stuff. But look at all what you've achieved so far and what you've been doing over. How long ago were it since you finished school?
So, well, I left school. I left like year 11 in 2015. So I finished my A levels in 2017. Did a year at college, but I did fashion and textiles completely.
Yeah.
Well, I just enjoyed it. I thought, what am I going to do now? And I did that, and then I started working in the job that I'm currently working in when I was 14. I'm 26 now, so
you've got so much experience. You really have. And I, bearing in mind, don't forget this, I went into Leeds Beckett Uni on Tuesday and I did guest lecture for a group of students that were on a mental health and counselling degree. And they didn't have much. I sound a bit cruel here, but none of them wanted to be there.
Yeah.
And they did not have any, I use this word pizzazz. I love people with a bit of pizzazz, a bit of passion, a bit of, you know. So don't discredit everything you've done. You're more than ready. So if that's one thing that is sort of holding you back, is that you maybe don't believe it's possible for you, or you feel that you need to go and do other experiences, then I just wanted to share that because it's just something I picked up on while we've been chatting.
Thank you.
You really don't need to do that, but if you feel safe and comfortable doing that, then brilliant, and it's what you enjoy and love. But also, it's on offer for you now. You're more than ready.
Yeah.
You know, as long as you've got that entry criteria that they've set, like
Yeah.
usually they have like maths, English, science, GCSEs. Like I think usually you need, I don't even know its numbers now, but it
Yeah.
used to be like C or above or things like that. But yeah, as long as you've got those entry criteria, and even if you've not, in the meantime, if you're thinking, oh, I need to get a certain grade in a certain subject, there's companies that support volunteers to do like different, and a lot of the time it's funded.
Right.
And there's a company that we like collaborate with a lot, and some of our volunteers go and do their courses that are funded as well. So just bear it in mind. But yeah, if you want to be, so say for example, that job, like you said, might not happen in 6 months.
Yeah.
Are you willing to get to 6 months' time and not have a plan and just keep doing what you're doing?
Right. I think if I got my sort of plan is if I got to 6 months and the job that I know I really want doesn't come up, then I'll look at other sort of areas and I'd be like, right, that's a great opportunity. It's not where I thought I was going to be, but let's go for it. Like I always keep an eye on like the NHS website, like for York Hospital as well, and just like see, because a job might come up there and I might be like, oh my God, that sounds great. Actually, that'd be fun. So I think I'd give it 6 months. If the job that I really know that I want to do doesn't come up, that's fine, wasn't meant to be. And then I'll look at other routes into the sort of job that I want to be in. And then that's okay. That's sort of like the basis of the plan.
Oh, I love your plan. I love it because you're an explorer, and I call it explorer style. So we've got like really strict SMART goals, like what's happening on what time and and being really rigid. But you'll actually, if you go with that flexible explorer, let's see what opportunities come, then you don't limit yourself to what's potential for you. So actually you could achieve so much more than what you might do if you set yourself a more of a rigid plan. Everyone's got their own ways of doing things that work for them, but I'm more of an explorer because I had no plan. I resit something I thought, well, I'll resit that, and then that nursing thing came up. So I'm confident that the right thing will just reveal itself
at the
right time.
Waiting, if you close one idea, you could be missing like 4 other ones that would be equally as good, if not better. So
go
with the flow.
And in the meantime,
many years.
and in the meantime, just have a go at looking at what, because you've got so much to juggle, all the commitments and everything. And if you're missing out on doing things that you love doing as well, just look for some gaps in that.
Yeah.
Look for some opportunities where you can go, I want to go swimming. I know you don't want to swim at that top level like you did before, but if you're not getting, I hear this so much with people that maybe were musicians or that, you know, like, because I was a health visitor for a long time. A lot of people that when they had kids, they no longer did those things that settled them, that give them that quiet mind, that's where the best ideas come up. That's where the answers come. So if you're so busy juggling 6 jobs that you're not getting the opportunity to do those things as much, look for some gaps where you can put a line through some of the stuff that you might be doing that in taking you in the direction that you want to go.
Bit wiggle room.
And just treat, you deserve it. You work hard. You know, you're 26 years old, working all them hours, volunteering on your day off. So I'd say the more of that you do, the more you'll get where you want to go.
Absolutely.
Is there anything else you wanted to ask me before I go on to my next session? I've loved meeting you today.
Yeah, it's been really, really helpful, and it's sort of like I feel good in my decision. Like I know that I'm making sort of the right thing. That you've definitely helped with that. But yeah, no, it's been great. Thank you really very, very much.
Oh, thank you for coming, because I know that you only have Friday off, so Tuesdays might not be on offer.
I don't know if I'll be able to make many of the Tuesdays. Every now and then, if like my classes get cancelled and stuff like that, I might do it. If I can, I will. But if not, I'll make sure that I watch all the recordings.
Oh, they'll appreciate you so much, and just drop me emails, messages, and keep in touch. And I'd love to hear more about how it all pans out. And I'll be thinking of you if I see any community jobs, because they have, well, I know you're in York, but I have my best friend works in York as
Okay.
a health visitor, so if she hears of any, because in community they have patient transport as well.
Right. Okay.
So not just the hospital trusts, but the communities, like we have patient transports as well. So yeah, just to call the local trusts and the community primary care trust as well.
Right. Okay.
Don't rule them out for
No,
transport.
no, no.
But yeah, you'll be the first person I think of.
Oh,
We'll
thank
keep in touch. We'll keep
Yeah.
in touch. But yeah, honestly, if I were interviewing you, I'd be like, yes. We want you.
That means a lot. Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming and thanks for letting this
Always.
be recorded so other people can hear our conversation.
Fine, not a problem. It was lovely to
Thank
meet you.
you. You too. Have a great day. Thank
You
you.
too.
Bye. Bye.